Have you ever felt like something invisible was protecting you? That, despite the difficulties, a path opened up at just the right time. Sometimes Allah works in our lives without us realizing it. It wards off evil, guides us towards good, sends us subtle signs. But do we really know how to recognize them? Today we will discover 7 powerful signs which prove that Allah is helping you right now. If you are listening to this message today, it is surely no coincidence. Stay until the end, because what you hear could change the way you look at your own life. Check 1. Allah takes from you what harms you. The air was cold that morning. The wind gently lifted the dust from the deserted streets as a man walked slowly towards the mosque. His heart weighed a ton. His breath was short. He had just lost everything. His job, which he had loved so much, had been taken away from him overnight. His marriage, which he thought would be eternal, had broken into 1,000 pieces. His house was no longer a home, but a place of solitude and silence. He looked up at the sky. Why me, Ya Allah? What did I do to deserve this? The doors of the mosque were open. He entered, placed his forehead on the ground and cried. He didn't understand. Everything was going well, and in an instant, his life was turned upside down. What he did not yet know was that Allah had never abandoned him. A few weeks later, while looking for work, an unexpected opportunity opened up to him. A more stable job, which allowed him to be closer to his family and no longer miss Friday prayers. This marriage he was crying about. He later realized that his wife was manipulating him, distracting him from his spirituality. He had distanced himself from Allah because of this relationship. Allah knew. Him, no. And you? Have you ever lost something only to realize that Allah was preparing you for better? Maybe you are experiencing the same pain. Maybe you are facing a loss that you don't understand. Maybe you're mourning a job, a relationship, an opportunity that got away from you. But take a moment. Breathe. Look around you. What if this loss was, in reality, a deliverance? It may be that you hate a thing although it is good for you, and it may be that you love a thing although it is evil for you. Allah knows, but you do not know. Surah 2, 2:16. Remember this truth. Allah never takes without giving. A child cries when a knife is taken from his hands. He doesn't understand that it's for his own good. We are these children. We cry when life takes something from us, unaware that Allah is saving us from a danger we do not see. If today you feel pain, don't reject it. Accept it as a sign that Allah is preparing you for something much greater. You don't see it yet, but soon you will understand. 2. Trials bring you closer to Him. Why do we feel pain? Why do we have to go through times when everything seems to be falling apart? If Allah loves us, why does He allow us to suffer? Look around you. Every person who has sincere faith, every soul who clings to Allah with all his being, has experienced the test. For what? Why was Yusuf, alayhi salam, betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a well, sold into slavery and unjustly imprisoned? Why did Ayub, alayhi salam, a righteous and pious man, lose his children, his wealth, his health, and was he abandoned by almost everyone? Why did Musa, alayhi salam, have to flee his home, face a tyrant, and carry the weight of an entire people on his shoulders? Because Allah tests those He loves. You too, look at your life. Have you ever felt pain so deep that you thought you would never recover? A loss that broke you from the inside? A betrayal that made you doubt everything? And now ask yourself, where did you go for comfort? Certainly, with difficulty comes ease. Surah 94:6. It is a divine promise, not a vague hope, not a simple consolation, but an absolute truth. With difficulty comes ease. If today you feel pain, Do not believe that Allah has abandoned you. No, He is purifying you. He is raising you. Gold only shines after being burned. Diamond only forms after extreme pressure. Hearts only come closer to Allah after experiencing trial. So what do you do when pain knocks at your door? Are you complaining? Do you walk away thinking that Allah no longer hears you? Or do you close your eyes and fall into prostration, seeking refuge with Him? Pain is not punishment. It's a call to return to the one who never left you. 3. You find comfort in prayer. Imagine it's night. Everything is calm. The world sleeps, immersed in the oblivion of time. But you are there, awake, your heart heavy with thoughts. You move forward slowly. The ground is cool under your feet. You raise your hands to the sky, your eyelids close, and in the silence of the universe, you whisper, Ya Allah. And there, a light breath seems to pass through your chest. A thrill, a presence, as if something invisible but real was settling inside you. It is a peace that nothing else in the world can offer. Have you ever felt this way? That inexplicable feeling after prayer, when your forehead touches the ground and suddenly everything seems to calm down. That moment when you feel that Allah is listening to you, that He is close, closer than your own breath. Verily, it is through the remembrance of Allah that hearts find peace. Surah 13:28. No matter how chaotic your life is, no matter the pain that consumes you, when you pray, something changes. It is not the outside world that is transforming. It is you. Your fears lose their weight. Your doubts fade away. Your soul lightens, as if it finally remembers a forgotten truth. You are never alone. Have you ever wondered why, after sincere prayer, you feel lighter? Why sometimes, without even understanding, tears flow while you recite simple words? This is no coincidence. That's an answer. If your heart finds comfort in prayer, know that Allah is helping you right now. So the next time everything seems dark, get up, raise your hands, place your forehead on the ground, and let the peace of Allah enter into you. 4. Doors you didn't expect open. A few years ago, a man was on the brink. Every morning he woke up with the same weight on his chest. He had tried everything. CVs sent by the dozens, interviews with no response, days waiting for a call that never came. His heart sank with each refusal. Why, Ya Allah? Why is this so difficult? One evening, exhausted, he pushed open the door of a mosque. The air was peaceful, almost sacred. He knelt, raised his hands, and said a simple, sincere prayer. Ya Allah, guide me to what is good for me. Then, he left his concerns in the hands of Allah. The days passed, still nothing. The anxiety returned, but this time he felt something different. A strange peace, a confidence that he couldn't explain. Then, the phone rang. An unknown voice, a company he didn't even know about. We found your profile interesting. Would you be available for an interview? Breathless, he stammered a yes, but he had never applied there. And yet a few days later, he signed his contract. An opportunity he hadn't even considered had just been handed to him on a platter. Have you ever had a moment where the solution came in a way you didn't expect? A problem that seemed hopeless, and then suddenly, a door opens out of nowhere. Whoever puts his trust in Allah, He is sufficient for him. Surah 65:3. Maybe you are going through a period of uncertainty. Maybe you're desperate for a way out. But remember, the doors of Allah do not open like those of men. If everything seems blocked, it may be because He is preparing a way out for you that you do not yet see. Keep moving forward, keep praying, and let Allah surprise you. 5. Your faith grows despite trials. A man decided to plant a seed. He chose a fertile spot, dug a hole, and carefully placed the seed. Every morning he came to water it, watching for the slightest sign of life. A week passed, nothing. 2 weeks, still nothing. The days went by, and yet the earth remained desperately empty. Doubt set in. Had he done something wrong? Was it unnecessary? One morning, discouraged, he almost gave up. But what he didn't know is that underground, the roots already extended deep. The seed, although invisible to his eyes, grew stronger in silence. Then, one day, a miracle. A tiny bud appeared on the surface. Fragile, discreet, but very real. Have you ever felt this way with your faith? You pray, you persevere, you seek Allah, but sometimes you feel like nothing is changing, as if your efforts were in vain. But what you don't see is that in the invisible, your faith grows. And those who endure patiently will have their reward beyond measure. Surah 39:10. The ordeal is like this silent earth. It hides a transformation. The deeper it is, the more firmly your roots anchor. The stronger the wind blows, the stronger your core becomes. If you are going through a storm today, know that your soul is preparing for something greater. Don't doubt. Continue to water your faith, even if you don't see any fruit yet. Because one day, you will see what you thought was lost blossom. 6. You feel an inexplicable love for Allah. Have you ever felt that moment when your heart races, not from fear or excitement, but from an indescribable presence, an invisible certainty, a warmth that envelops your soul? It's as if, suddenly, Allah was there, as if despite the chaos of the world, despite the inner storms, a soft light was settling within you, chasing away doubts, soothing pain. This feeling cannot be explained. It doesn't follow any logic. One day you pray as usual, but this time, something is different. The words you have been repeating for years resonate differently. Your heart beats harder. Your eyes fill with tears. For no apparent reason. That's an answer. That's an answer. Allah loves those who rely on Him. Surah 3:159. Have you ever felt this way? This inexplicable love that pushes you to raise your hands, to whisper, "O God," in the silence of a night. Without knowing why, but knowing deep down that it's the only thing that really matters. There is a secret that many people don't know. It is not you who seeks Allah. It is He who calls you. If at this moment your love for Him grows day by day, this is the most powerful sign that He has chosen you to be closer to Him. Don't ignore it. Answer this call. 7. A reminder comes at the perfect time. Stop for a moment. Look around you. This message, this video, this precise moment. Isn't it strange that these words happen exactly now? Maybe you are going through a period of uncertainty. Maybe your heart is desperate for an answer. Perhaps in recent days, you have silently whispered, "Ya Allah, send me a sign." And there you have it. Nothing is a coincidence. Allah always speaks to you. When my servant asks me, then I am near. Surah 2:186. Is it a coincidence that you are here hearing this reminder? No, that's an answer. A sign that you are not alone. A sign that Allah is watching over you, even in times when you feel like He is far away. A sign that no matter where you are in your faith, He is still waiting for you. And now the real question is, what are you going to do with this reminder? Ignore it and return to your routine. Or listen, respond to this call, and take a step towards the one who is already calling you. It's up to you. If these signs resonated with you, then know one thing. Allah has never abandoned you. No matter your past, your mistakes or your doubts, He calls you again and again, and He waits for you to return to Him. Don't let this reminder be just another video. Make it a turning point. Talk to Allah. Draw near to Him, even with a simple word, a simple gesture. Because the most beautiful miracle is realizing that He has always been there. If this message touched you, share it, because it could be the sign that another person was waiting,